They say don't believe everything you read on the internet, a saying that holds true when you look up Brandon Dixon.
Yeah, so in college, we used to see what they would put on our bios based off what we would put. So I've never actually gone noodling, but noodling is where you catch giant catfish with your bare hands. You stick your hand like in a hole and they latch on and you pull them up. And so, yeah, it was kind of like a thing I did with my roommates. It was like, all right, let's write down these random hobbies and see what they'll put on there. So I've never actually gone, but yeah, it's on there.
Dig a little further, and there's also a picture of the 6'2", 215-pounder looking a lot like Fabio.
That was actually in the Grand Cayman, and I think there was someone behind me who had long hair too, and it just happened like in the picture, their hair looked like mine. And so it just like, it kind of kept flowing down way longer than it actually was. But my sister took the picture and she was like, you have to post this.
While the stories are fun, they're also fiction. Here are the facts. Dixon was a third-round pick of the Dodgers in 2013, but he wouldn't make his major league debut until last season as a member of the Cincinnati Reds. He was claimed off waivers by the Tigers this past offseason, where he's ultimately seen the payoff of a decision he made as a teenager.
I think junior year of high school, I decided to just do baseball. I saw one of my buddies who was a year ahead of me tear his ACL playing football, and I knew I was just playing football for fun. I wasn't going to go anywhere with it. It was just something I was, kind of good at. I was athletic, and my buddies were doing it. So yeah, I kind of decided then that I should pursue baseball year-round and continue with that.
Boy, are the Tigers glad he did. As of August 5th, Brandon led the team with 14 home runs and was tied with Miguel Cabrera with 43 RBI.
He's been a great asset for us offensively, and he's played a good first base. And even outfield, I mean, he can run some balls down. So, I mean, he's just a great player for us overall.
You love seeing guys that, don't make the team out of spring and then come up and really perform well. And Brandon's done that. He's gotten a lot of big hits late in games that have either tied up games or given us leads. And, that's that clutch gene that's so important.
A gene that goes back to before his days as a professional. As a sophomore at the University of Arizona in 2012, Dixon provided what would eventually be the winning run in the College World Series in the 9th inning.
When we went back to Omaha, I mean, it was like almost kind of like reliving it. I kind of was a role player that year. I was a sophomore. Sometimes came off the bench, sometimes started, and I got that big hit. And I remember they made a pitching change, and there was maybe 25, 30,000 people there, and they were chanting my name, and I was just like, this is insane.
Especially for someone who needed LASIK surgery at season's end. After hitting .245 as a sophomore over the course of 62 games and 155 at-bats, Brandon upped that mark to .369 as a junior in 55 games with over 200 at-bats.
I wore contacts, but for me, I always had really dry eyes. And being in Tucson, it's about as dry of an area as you can get. So I would catch myself third or fourth inning and everything's blurry, and I'm like, I gotta try and find a way to hit right now. Yeah, I got LASIK done, and it was probably the best thing for my career.
Not counting a work ethic that helped the California native turn his natural talent into something more. For example, having the fastest base-running sprint speed among all Major League first basemen in 2018.
I was always kind of fast growing up, not super fast, and then kind of in college, once I started doing, some weightlifting and different stuff like that, it just kind of developed, and now, now that I've play, some corner positions, I think it kind of sneaks up on people.
He wants three, and he will get it with a pop-up slide.
I've enjoyed just being with the Tigers, with the staff, and getting a chance. That's kind of all you can ask for. So it's been a lot of fun, and to play every day with Miggy and kind of bounce ideas off him, and just guys like that, it's really cool.
As is Dixon's life outside of the diamond.
At age 12, maybe 10, my family was like, hey, you can do Christmas presents, or we could do a trip every Christmas. And so me and my sisters were like, yeah, let's do that instead. We don't need gifts, we'll just go on a trip. And coming up, this off season, I'm going on my honeymoon to South Africa. We're going on a safari, then we're going to Cape Town, and then we're gonna go to the Seychelles Island. off the coast of Africa. But last year I went to Amalfi Coast and Mykonos in Greece, which was amazing. I've been to Grand Cayman, I think like 3 or 4 of the Hawaiian Islands, Cancun, Bahamas. I love baseball, but I like to get away from it and have my own stuff. So yeah, you'll never really catch me on off days watching baseball or anything like that. I personally like to get away and try and do some sort of hobby or something like that.
In other words, go with the flow.